let's dispel a bit of a myth. So let's say we're going back 2 years ago, and somebody's buying an apartment off the plan for $500,000. Okay, and the agent or the developer says, "Look, this is such a good deal because you buy for 500,000 now. In 2 years' time, when you actually settle on this, it'll probably be worth, at least 550,000, and you'll be able to borrow 85% of 550,000. So you'll be able to borrow 467,500. You'll almost be able to fund your purchase with no equity. So everybody dives in and believes that's a great idea. So let's just assume, as in fact has happened, that the market didn't go up by that 10% anyway. Let's just assume that the market's been reasonably stable. So you bought it for 500,000, and the value was coming along 2 years later when you settled for the bank and valuing it. What is the valuer valuing? What he's now valuing is a completed apartment that does not have stamp duty savings. When you bought your apartment off the plan for 500,000 and you got your stamp duty savings, would you have paid the same price if you weren't getting stamp duty savings? The answer is no. The answer is no. So a property that was bought for 500,000 off the plan will probably value, everything else being equal, value at a margin less than the equivalent of the stamp duty anyway. And then other things that influenced prices that valuers don't take into account were incentives, white good fit outs, all of these other sorts of things that were part of the sales promotion at the time. So instead of the property valuing at 550 2 years later, it's probably right that it values at about 450 in most cases. And that's not the value of being conservative. That's just adjusting for the market and the facts. And unfortunately, in the interim, the banks have gone from lending 85% to 75%. So you're now getting 75% of 450. So a lot of people were caught out by that. And whilst you think this might have led to a lot of settlements not proceeding, it in fact didn't, because a lot of people were able to make up the money one way or the other. But the important thing to remember out of this, if nothing else, was that in the day of stamp duty savings being very significant, which is now past, certainly in Victoria, that was the reason why valuations generally didn't match up to what you had paid. And it wasn't the value of being conservative.